cheers and welcome to the Mall Street Journal, the American Rugby Pod that brings you all the latest news and reviews for the MLR, the WER, the women's and the men's Eagles, and whatever else we can find as we cast our eyes across the USA rugby landscape. A bit of a hellscape this week, perhaps. We are part of the Global Gainline Network and can be found on all your usual platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. So if you haven't already, give us a like or a subscribe, or send us an Al calendar with a check for $100 and a nice note saying how lovely. This is episode 7. You may recall that I'm David Lawrence. I'm joined once again by the full team. Coming to us on the road this week is the man who's currently putting the high performance back in professional development. It's Kolya. Kolya, tell us where you are and how you're doing.
Evening, yo. I'm in Dallas at the University of Dallas, where they've got a very nice rugby pitch, but I'm here for teaching PD.
Nice.
Are you getting to hang out with any? Are you getting to hang out with any of the good language nerds there?
Yes, I am.
Good. That's all that matters.
As listeners know, we've kind of been experimenting with a little like opening tidbit here. We're going with what are you listening to? Kolya, what's been in your ears this week?
So with all of the turmoil going on in American rugby at the moment, that I'm sure we'll get into, I wanted something light, but also maybe something rugby related. So I've been listening to an old song called Fergie McCormack by Dowry Farrell, which is a rugby comedy song about an Irish fullback who finds who's walking around, sees a building on fire, and then antics ensue.
Please.
We are the bravest and strongest.
I honestly thought you were going to perform it for us.
Oh, no, don't make him.
Damn it. I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to go on mute right now. So also, of course, we've all heard of and love rugby union, but we've also got the rugby onion because we keep peeling back the layers and finding more and more. It's rugby Julia. Julia, I insist we lead with the fact that your mom was a spy.
Oh my God. And you're just going to walk right into it. Yeah. That was dropped in the group chat. Don't really have anywhere to go with that. That was, I don't think that was actually what she did, but I'm going to claim it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything more interesting going on with my family. So why not? Hello to my mom, who's definitely listening to my rugby podcast.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, professionally, probably.
Professionally.
Julia, what have you been listening to this week?
So mine's, and see, I'm glad that we lead with Kolya because like he always has the best stuff. Mine not necessarily as rugby, although I will tie it in. I listen to a lot of world music. In fact, most music I listen to is not American, and sometimes it's really old also. But what I've been listening to a lot, and I'm kind of cheating because I've been listening to it for the past like 6 months. I work at home. I listen to music all day, every day, except for when I'm on meetings and even sometimes on. And I have recently, well, a few months ago, found a Brazilian DJ who puts together funk, disco, older Brazilian classics, mixes them, and he makes 2 and 3 hour DJ sets from a beautiful island. And they're super upbeat. They feel really nice. Usually very few vocals, which is helpful for focusing. But considering that I have recently read a really great Francisco Isaac article on the Yaras, the Brazil Yaras, who will be debuting at the Rugby World Cup for 15s this year. I worked really hard there, but I did tie it in. So
that was a long walk off a short pier, as my mom would say.
Listen, but did I make the walk or not?
You did. Mine is the least rugby then, I guess, of all, because I've been listening to audiobooks mostly. Currently, the selection is Dead Man Walking by Larry McMurtry. It's a precursor to one of the best American novels of all time, Lonesome Dove. I haven't read it yet. Go get it.
Absolutely. What genre are we talking? Like, you don't need to give us an overview or anything, but what genre?
So Larry McMurtry had written many great novels, and then he did this interview where he brilliantly explained how the genre of the Western novel had officially died. It was over. And then he wrote Lonesome Dove, the greatest Western in the history of American literature.
So see, that's super up my alley because the other stuff that the other music that I've been listening to a lot of that really wasn't going to make the podcast make any sense is I've been listening to a lot of psychedelic Western, which is fine.
Psychedelic Western.
It's 70s funk and disco with Western
You can't
blended
just
via the
pick
magic
two things
of
and
the
stick them together,
computers.
Julia. You're not fooling us.
It is. It's for doing a bunch of drugs in the desert. Hunter S. Thompson and me.
Oh, it's Burning Man soundtrack. Okay.
Oh my God. That's great. I'm gonna have to play that for somebody who I love in my life who did a lot of Burning Man.
So our tradition, of course, is to start the show with some news. I'm going to toss it over to Kolya. Kolya, not too much to talk about this week. Not a lot of stuff happening on the American front.
Oh, just the teams out west merging, and one of the teams in the southeast suspending itself.
Which
It's a really
appears
nice
to be
way of
fatal,
putting
but
it.
there's no confirmation.
Yes. Yes. So the San Diego Legion and LA Rugby have merged to create the California Legion, which will be playing its games at 3 separate stadiums next year, 2 in San Diego, 2 in LA, and 3 somewhere else in Orange County. And then
That still doesn't make 8 games.
We're gonna worry about it when they get there.
It's later.
They don't have a plan. We know they don't have a plan. Like,
This is really bad for San Diego fans. San Diego fans are the second best fans in the entire league, and they don't deserve this.
I don't have a lot of news. Honestly, that kind of leads well into like our top line.
I know. Kolya, I don't want to say much, and I don't know much, but you do know some people in the NOLA organization. This must be really, really tough news for you this week.
Yes, yes. This sucks. I've got a lot of friends around in and around the organization. NOLA was doing a bunch of stuff with youth and pathways programs in the area. They had, before one of their matches, an LSU rugby alumni match played before one of their matches. They were doing stuff with French immersion schools where
Yep.
they going.
This leaves a huge hole. I mean, just is the headline. There's so much to lose by losing this team.
Yes.
The French connections, there was potential there for a lot of things.
There
Yes.
are, and also having lost what we have in Texas before because of various other things, but Texas has also recently lost a team. With the loss of LSU, really, you leave the Gulf almost not serviced at all by professional rugby, and that's if you know American rugby, that's a real disservice.
Yeah, we've still got Houston, but
we do. Oh, my bad. We do still have Houston.
Yeah, but Houston is having its own financial struggles if you go by just word of mouth that they were basically playoffs or busts this year. They made the playoffs, so they're continuing.
By the skin of their teeth.
Necessarily mean that things
Wow.
are in the best shape there.
That's unnerving. They've been really solid the last few years.
That was what I was going to ask Chloe, actually, is do you, I mean, in knowing, these teams around and you also know the greater MLR, what do you think the prospects are? I mean, first of all, to say playoffs or bust to a team, it's always shitty. Of course, I come from the women's side. Luckily, we don't have those kinds of ultimatums in America yet, but they definitely do in PWR. We've seen them. So I'm curious. And of course, if you have no insight, that's totally fair.
So a little while ago, the president of Old Glory DC came out and did an interview talking about how with any new league, you're going to have speed bumps where you're going to lose teams. The original NFL lost something like 20-something teams in 5 years.
I was going to say, you're going to have that built-in cushion for it. You have to be ready.
Yes, yes. And what the Old Glory DC president said in this interview is that losing a team doesn't necessarily mean that the league itself is on poor footing. It could be consolidating to make it stronger so that it could then build out again.
Yep.
That's fair.
If we lose another team for the 2027 season and don't add anyone, then I'd start getting really worried.
Yeah. I'd been told semi-reliably that we would be looking to expand next year into Mexico even.
That was where I
So
was going to ask, because Mexico, I mean, obviously Canada has been a perennial conversation. We don't know about that, but I'm just throwing it
right,
out there because it's been part of the expansion conversation. But Mexico was also recently put on the table.
Yes.
right. Yeah, and the optimists, I hear that all the time, Colia. It's Alex Magleby has told me the same thing. It's like, look at Major League Soccer. They expanded too fast, lost a bunch of teams. The teams have come and gone. The core kind of has remained, and now it's become a really established thing that's pretty solid. And I think that's what they're hoping for, but it hurts in the moment. Nola's been there so long.
Yes, it really hurts. Like, you know, that NOLA itself is saying that it's just suspending operations, but the Dallas Jackals said the same thing
Yeah.
Right.
when they suspended and they haven't come back.
And when you go to the NOLA website, they've done a great job with like the videos that look, you can tell what a party atmosphere it is at those games. Those people are going to what, sit at home and wait for a year and then come back that enthusiastic? Like,
I mean, that's what I've wondered as well. And we do actually have, unfortunately, we have test cases for this. We need only look across the pond, and we look at England, and we look at the prospect of Worcester coming back, and just this year, what they've outlined for what the challenges will be. And that's somewhere where, for better or for worse, it's easier to build fan bases and to keep them. It's smaller, it's a more rugby nation, but New Orleans is, for America, it's a rugby town.
Yeah.
I would hope if anywhere could do it. It's so
could-
baffling. And from like a relative outsider, yes, I'm learning more, I'm getting more into it, but NOLA has kind of always been what you would have considered a staple in terms of the region.
It's funny that you mentioned the Houston thing about the playoffs or bust. NOLA had a similar thing this year where they were like, we're making it to the playoffs, but they kind of announced that that was their goal. And then they did, and then weren't any good. And you could tell there was this sense of like, yay. But in last off season, they'd had the most momentum. Phil and I from the Jacks Rangers had talked extensively about how scared we were of them. They were building something, and like anyway, I guess it's always going to be this painful. Any franchise is going to build up a fan base and a vibe, and they had a big one.
Yes, and they had the best kits and best training gear of any of the teams.
I think the only two teams that had quartered kits are now gone. NOLA did it, and the Jackals did it.
Yeah, yeah, and
I
there's
like the quartered
something
kits.
else I want to talk about that's related to NOLA going down and with NOLA's kits and all is a problem with American Rugby merchandising.
Mm.
So right now, MLR sends everyone, if you want merch, to shopmlr.com, where they have a shirt and the kit. And the kit is exceedingly overpriced for the market. If you actually go to clubs, you'll be able to get other merchandise, but that merchandise, for some reason, isn't allowed to be sold online.
Yep.
And this is for some reason a new thing that has come in, because NOLA used to have its own shop where you could get all sorts of different stuff, from dog collars to training kit to just anything.
Like a physical brick and mortar store? Or you mean at the stadium when you go to the games?
Yeah, at the stadium, but also you could get it online.
Okay.
Yeah, the same way that OGDC will have stuff at Audi Field in the pro shop for
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the soccer teams, but
Same with Houston Sabercats, but if you go to Old Glory DC or Houston Sabercats, you won't be able to get that stuff.
Hmm.
And this is a
it's a
problem
very big thing.
with the American rugby landscape, where right now, if we want any sort of merchandise for a team anywhere, it basically has to come through either shopmlr.com or worldrugbyshop.com.
Mm.
And
And
that's
one of the things that that showed, in my opinion, and to a lot of people who have looked at the history of things like the growth of MLS, which you brought up, is that MLS started gaining momentum when people just started wearing
Yep.
random soccer shirts everywhere.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Fashion thing.
Rugby itself is like that. We're looking at, we actually have seen very much that phenomenon in WER. A lot of interest has been garnered and a lot of local participation has risen just because some random family with a young girl or a teenage girl or whatever sees somebody wearing the local North, say they're in Chicago, the North Shore Lions shirt. And they're like, oh, I didn't know we had like a local team. I thought it was just pretty. You get my daughter involved. That's how you do it.
Yes,
It's so rare to see somebody wearing any rugby kit. I make an ass of myself whenever a couple months ago, I actually saw somebody wearing a Harlequins jersey, and I was just like, Harlequins! And he was like, yeah, okay.
I will say I have, mine is only anecdotal, but I do have anecdotal evidence. I have been stopped a few times actually in various places. Again, I am right outside of DC. It's a super heavy soccer town anyway, but I wear my USA Rugby jerseys sometimes to just do errands or when I'm downtown anyway, because I would love it if people were like, oh, I didn't know we had a rugby team. But I've had a lot of people just be like, what team is that? We have a national rugby team. And before the other weekend, I could have been like, you should get these tickets. They're dirt cheap. Like, come through, come see it. I have no idea if that worked, but it's another entry.
Yes. Yes, it's an entryway into the sport, and it's something that makes rugby visible.
Exactly.
Where right now MLR seems to be focusing, and rugby in general outside of WER and some local clubs seem to be focusing instead on, we've got this ESPN Plus deal where there's no advertising for it. Or
And that's a hard sell. I mean, this is something that we've been fighting against a lot. We're fighting against it right now with the upcoming Rugby World Cup, but just the fight of being like, you should get CBS Plus, or like whatever the hell it is. It's Paramount now, CBS. You won't know which is on which. Everyone's already mad, and the Rugby Network is one of the worst bargains next to Flow.
yeah,
Why are you making everything harder to see rugby?
yes.
What this country needs now is blockades and
I was going to
stumbling
say what we
blocks.
really need is something else to pay for, because you already got to
Yes.
pay for your VPN to see half the stuff anyway.
Yeah, people really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I've been reading a lot of coverage of the various kits that have been coming out for the Women's Rugby World Cup, and I went on our website, and we were talking about it in our group chat. It's a pretty nice jersey. It's Macron, but
Yeah.
it's a pretty nice jersey considering. Looks pretty good. I was definitely gonna go get one. It's $140 plus shipping.
Yes, which is absolutely ridiculous for our market.
So the Wales
Yeah.
jersey, I asked my friends, $82 in Wales, 82 pounds, but 82
What's
local
82 pounds?
dollars.
$120 though? What is 82 pounds is what, $120? Something
Oh,
like
I
that.
mean, yeah, I guess it would be up. Well, no, at this point, that's
I
for a
don't really
different podcast. But at this point, no, it's probably around 100.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always bothered me that any France kit looks better than any American kit with the same
I mean,
color scheme. They're like, you
their
know what?
Adidas partnership is so solid. A lot of people consider the Adidas tricolor stripes like art. I don't know what they would do if they ever like moved to Castor or
Especially our men, we often look like coffee cups from the mid 90s.
I'm excited for you two to see, and if you haven't already seen them, I'm excited for you to see the Italy kit for the World Cup. I
Oh,
have my like I like it, but it's very controversial right now about
okay.
how it looks. But you may end up saying that it looks like a Dixie Cup,
It's
or
got a big Mussolini right on the front.
it's oh my God, you're just going for it today. Um, no Mussolini, but it does have I don't know what to call it when it's got the little like you can only see it in the light, the inset, whatever, but it's got like filigree. It's very Italian filigree, but
Oh,
it ends up on the white away one. It does end up making them look like a teacup.
oh
But
wow. I meant Mussolini, like not the dictator, but like as a sponsor.
oh, that's worse.
Okay, we apologize for how late we are this week. Neither the men nor the women for USA played this past weekend, so we were on tenterhooks for the squad announcement for a massive game this coming weekend. We finally got the list. Kolia, do you have it in front of you? Would you do the honor of reading out our 23?
If you don't, I have it.
So we've got Hope Rogers, Catherine Treader, Payas Sagapoulou, Haley Taufu, Erica Gerald Cersei, Kate Zachary, Georgie Paris Redding, and Frida Tafuna in our front row. Back row, Cass Bargel, Mackenzie Hawkins, Lottie Sharp, Alev Kelter, Alona Mar, Cheta Emba, and Bulu Matai Toga. Hopefully, I didn't just butcher those names.
I think
I
that was pretty
can
good.
help you. I can help you with any of them. Yeah, what a lineup.
Do you see the bench as well there? We've got some nice names on the bench that I like as well.
Would you like me to read them?
Sure, Julia, go ahead.
Sure. So it's Paige Stathopoulos, Maya Learned, Olivia Leatherman, Rachel Erickey, Talia Brody, Olivia Ortiz, Emily Henrich, and Soraya Ibarra. Super happy to see some of these names.
Julia, why don't you get us started? Like, how did this roster compare to the one that you undoubtedly had lined up in your head?
Yeah, I'm happy with this lineup. Especially, we don't need to, but if you are curious, I would recommend people who are invested go look at the Canada lineup. It's pretty obvious to
We'll
me.
get to it.
Yeah, so it's pretty obvious to me that both Canada and USA, and coaches always talk. It's not bad. It's not like anybody's sharing secrets, but very much, and you can tell in a lot of matchups. But you can tell that this one was like we're gonna do as close to the real thing as possible. Because you never want it to be like, oh, oops, we did half of our B side and you did your all A side. It's gonna be terrible. This looks to me like, as I predicted, this looks to me like probably what he wants to start most of the time. Or as close as possible. The bench backs me up. I really hope I'm wrong about a few specific people, but overall, this is a team that to me, I have confidence in this team.
Is this
I
your starting 15?
I see the vision. What?
Is this your starting 15?
No, this is not my starting 15. But I see the vision, and specifically when you look at Canada's lineup, I think there are a few potential mistakes for us. But Canada's looks a little different than what you'd expect. And I know we're going to get to it, but there are a few that are in very strange places. Yeah, no, I don't really know how much to keep hedging, but it's not my starting 15. It's close.
Kolia, what about you? What are your biggest surprises when you look at our 23?
Well, I'm happy to see the or some of the people who played really well in DC keep their positions.
Agreed.
Really happy with that. I fear for this match coming up, and I'm sure we'll get to that when we look at the Canada lineup. I don't know many of the bench by name. I have probably seen them play, but I don't know them by name.
Yeah, you definitely know them.
Yeah. So I am hopeful that we will give a good display, but there's a couple places where I would change things. For example, as we've
Hmm.
talked about, I'm not entirely sure our center partnership is the best.
Agreed.
And that back row looks a little suspect to me. Maybe I'm wrong.
6, 7, 8, or your back line?
Uh, the back line.
Okay.
The back line.
Gotcha. So if I don't mean to barge in, but if I may, I've got a few names missing or in strange places for me.
Mm.
I'm really disappointed not to see Charlie Jacoby at all in this lineup. This makes me really sad. I'm really hoping. I was hoping that it was maybe an injury or just kind of keeping it fresh or whatever, but unfortunately, I saw a bunch of her socials posts today, and it looks like it was very much not her decision.
Yee.
She wanted to be in this lineup very much. That said, where she would go, I don't really take anybody out is my problem. It's a really great problem that we have for
It
USA.
is.
We have a really deep
Uh,
we have a really deep prop pool, which is fantastic. And I mean, we have a really deep prop pool, and then also we have hope runners.
yes.
So when she's present and breathing, she's getting a starting shirt. Um, totally true, totally fair. Sagapolu, I like a lot. I'm not sad to see her there at all. I wish it was Charlie. That's all it is. Or I wish that she was in the bench. I could see bench. That was what happened in DC anyway. I also really worry about the center partnership. We talked about it a bit before. That said, if you have to have one of them where you have them, I would like it to be with a Lev. Um,
Mm.
yeah,
Fair.
kind of as a handler. It works. Okay.
Did either of you notice that 4 of our 23 players came through Harvard? That's a pretty good
Yes.
ratio.
Yes, I do because one of them is one of my favorite players. So yes, absolutely. No, we know it. Boston, absolute hotbed. Um, there is a reason why the Banshees do so well. um, I'm so happy to see Cheddar starting.
Yes.
Um, I
Yeah.
I am a personal really big Cheddar head.
Yes.
Cheddar head. Um, big Cheddar head. She is from Richmond, Virginia, where I went to school. Um, I'm a huge fan. I'm so happy that she broke through so fast. Um,
Big time.
big
Though,
time, big
so
time.
I came up with 3 players that I wanted to sort of highlight. She's the
Please.
top of my list. Graduate of Harvard in molecular and cellular biology, rampaging Boston Banshee, who may have made the first legitimate highlight for the WER. Though I was surprised to learn she's 32 already. I was like, what?
Right?
I thought, yeah, I thought she was 27, right around there. Paige Stathopoulos, of course, hails from my home state, from the deliciously named hamlet of Sandwich. She attended my partner's alma mater, BU. She also played a lot of hockey at high school at a high level. I mean, and
I was gonna say it's
represented Beantown.
I
So
was yeah, it's the
big fan of
hallmark
hers.
of and for people who are just getting into American rugby, that is a hallmark of being from the Northeast is also playing hockey on the side.
Also playing hockey and playing for Beantown.
And
Uh,
I assume that you're definitely an Erica Gerald fan.
oh yes.
Come on,
Um,
man.
uh, Emily Henrik, though, another Ivy Leaguer, though from
Yes. Our
the
Dartmouth
Far
girl.
School of Dartmouth. She,
Who is if we can't have Tess Fury, which I'm still upset about, we don't need to go
right.
on about it. I'm really upset she's not in the traveling squad at all. But Emily Henrich also, the closest thing we're gonna get to our Sophie DeGoody is also that her mom was a USA Eagle.
I thought you were going to steal my thunder here. She's also a nationally ranked aerial skier. I'll have you know.
Yes, oh my God, so true. So it's a little bit of Helen Nelson in there too. We're coming.
Oh, I apologize. I said 3, but I wanted to add Olivia Ortiz because anyone who can make it at this level while being under 5 feet tall has my full support, no matter what.
I mean, you're right. She's under 5 feet tall. I really encourage anybody who has any doubts or is just curious about this team at all and doesn't know Olivia Ortiz, go to her Instagram and watch her work out. I'm relatively positive she doesn't have body fat. She's just jacked and tiny. I
Yeah.
feel like if she hit me, it would feel like getting hit by a literal wrecking ball, but like one from, yeah, just a tiny
Cool.
little vortex.
Kolia, what about you? Who are some, what are some names that jumped off this sheet for you?
So, as you said, Hope Rogers, Cheta Emba, Kate Zachary as captain, I like. Alev Kelter could probably play anywhere.
And has actually. I said earlier that
Yeah.
somebody else was kind of close to our Sophie DeGoody. Actually, our closest to Sophie DeGoody is, of course, Captain America.
What happened that a couple matches ago when the red mist descended for Lev? What happened? That was so out of character. It was weird. We already talked about it, but anyway,
Yes.
it doesn't make me love her any
I
less.
mean, but that does happen. I mean, we've seen greater people do stupider things.
True.
I
Kolia,
don't
any
know.
other names you want to mention?
Now, my question is, Julia, how do you think we're going to play in this match?
That's a really good question. Thank you so much. That's a really great question. So,
We are going to get to it if you don't mind.
oh, please.
Uh,
Let's first talk about the lineup for Canada.
yes. Well, actually, I have a little surprise. I provided you with an outline beforehand, but guess what? Little surprise here. I know you love it when I spring things on you.
I thought you were going to be like, we have Sophie DeGoody here. We're clicking her
Hey,
in.
Sophie. Oh,
Sophie, hello. And I'm like, hello.
Yeah, she's in my basement right now playing with the Lego
Whoa.
set.
Maybe you had her on the line.
What I do have is a 3-question mini quiz. Don't you love
Fantastic.
having quizzes sprung on you? Question one is a really easy one. Who is the most capped player in this squad? Julia.
Hope Rogers.
Kolia?
Hope Rogers.
Absolutely right. Question two, a little trickier. Who has more caps, Lev Kelter or Catherine Treader?
In 15s?
Yes. Sorry.
Catherine Treader.
Treader.
It is Lev. She has 26 to 25.
Ooh.
Good one. That's a good one. I should have taken longevity, and that's a good one.
Final question. Kate Zachary, a woman we haven't spent nearly enough time talking about, by the way. She is second on the list for total caps in the squad. As we mentioned, Hope Rogers, she's the leader with 50. What is the difference between these two stalwarts? Kolia, what's the difference between Hope Rogers' 50 and Catherine Treader's? I'm sorry, Kate Zachary, sorry.
8, right? Or am I very off?
You're close, Julia.
I'm relatively sure it's 6.
It's 10. 40 for Kate Zachary. Nice little quiz, right?
Hope Rogers, captain of my heart.
I actually kind of did that more for our UK listeners because everyone in the UK loves a wee quiz, and so do I. So I thought that would be a little nice little thing.
They do love a wee quiz. And they love it when we make asses of ourselves.
No, I think we kind of nailed it, right? So I just want to take a moment to remind all of you that liking and subscribing is the best way to help us grow. And if you could, tell a friend or two, that would be really smashing. We're part of the Global Gainline Network. And you know what? We're generally lovely people to boot. Kolia, we've been having our side chats about world rankings. Our men are on a minor skid, while our women, to me, are doing well, but not to the level I kind of expected. There's a World Cup starting in about 3 weeks. We're slated to play the world's #1 team to start the show. But the big thing is this match this weekend. We looked at that Canadian squad. Kolia, what were your reactions when you saw the Canada's 23?
Would you like me to run through the Canada? I have it pulled up. Would you like me to?
Yes.
I'm almost scared, but please do.
Okay, I don't want to barge in, but just in case. All right, we've got from 1 to 15, McKinley Hunt, Jillian Boag, Dalika Menon, Sophie DeGoody at number 4, Tyson Bukaboom, number 5, where she always is, Karen Packham, Fabiola Forteza, Gabrielle Senft, Olivia Apps, Claire Gallagher, Paige Ferries, Alexandra Tessier, she just Tessier to me, Alexandra Tessier, Florence Simons, Fancy Bermudas, and Julia Schell bring up 15. Our bench at 16, Taylor McKnight, Michaela Nelson, Olivia DeMerchant, Courtney O'Donnell, Pamphonette Buisa, Justine Pelletier, Shoshana Somanitofa, and Caroline Crossley. Sophie Delock?
Yeah,
Go on.
that was the main thing that jumped out at me was DeGoody at 4.
We were the only reason I wanted to read it out is because we were just talking about like where doesn't she play, and I was thinking about it. KZ, I don't think I've seen KZ play 4. Fine, you win.
Yeah.
You win, Sophie Delock.
There's time. There's time. Sophie Delock.
So that this team or that Canada team scares me. They
Monstrously strong.
Yes, if I was to put someone who could possibly beat the Red Roses in the World Cup, it would be Canada.
Yes, Collier, my man. I am on. Everybody knows it, but we're gonna keep saying it every time. I am the leader of Team Canada is going to win the World Cup. I welcome entrants. Drop it in the comments. Email us. Whatever. You can get a badge. I'm gonna figure that out. Team Canada to win. This is what the team would look like. I'm so sorry, Collier. Go on.
It's true.
But I really wonder how the US is going to play against this team because we saw them play
What do you
Fiji.
do?
We saw them play Fiji, and it was
Height.
of just brute physicality and fitness. We can't do that to Canada.
Right.
There are no. So the problem
point.
is there are no chinks in this armor. I don't. What do you exploit? I wish I had thought harder about this, but honestly, I don't know what you exploit. Maybe Claire Gallagher at 10, she doesn't have that much experience, but honestly, she's been playing 10 and 15 at club. I'm thrilled to see Paige Ferry's back. She's been out for injury forever, and she's one of my absolute favorite players to watch. She's also very funny.
Well, this is great because it kind of leads me right into my next thing. Like Julia, you and I were messaging, like we are trying to get our heart rates down after seeing this Canada squad.
Both of us squeezing each other's hands really hard.
Exactly. We're about to feel the full Buka boom, right? It's coming.
Buka boom.
I've been calling my son Buka boom recently. He doesn't know the reference, but he takes it. Yeah. Kolya, you kind of already hinted at this. Like, if you could put on your coaching hat, what is your strategy as you approach this fixture? There's no way to sugarcoat that we're massive underdogs. Like, what strategies or words of inspiration would you be bringing?
So when you play a team, when you are massive underdogs, the two real things you can do are you either go the Italian strategy of just putting getting everyone messed up in the mud, having it slow down as much as you can and keep that score down.
Throw bodies in the way.
Yeah, throw bodies in the way. Or you attempt to win an aerial battle and keep it in a territory or keep the territory away from you. Those are your two choices.
Do we have the ability to do that?
That's my thing is, I don't know. My second thing was going to be, or you just try to contain them.
Yeah.
Not saying that you would do so in an overpowering way, but of just like try to keep it as score as low as possible.
Again, I'll ask, can we do that?
I'm really surprised by the lineup if that's what we were trying to do, so I don't think so. I think
yeah, I think
they're going with the first.
I think we're planning to play, and I'm not sure how that works for us.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That worries me, to be honest, because that's the exact conclusion that I came to. I'm really glad that you guys are here confirming my delusions. Oh no, my concern is that we are absolutely going to just we're just planning on throwing bodies at them. Okay. We have the World Cup in a month. Please don't.
Less than a month.
Please don't hurt yourself. Yeah. By tomorrow it'll be less than a month. I
think the 22nd is our opening match, right? Yeah. Wow. 3 weeks from tomorrow. Oh my gosh.
And
jarring.
in any other year and in any other like posture, this would be a really great learning match.
Yeah.
But
Why have Canada gone for this selection where they're sort of moving people around a little bit, putting people in strange places? Is it simply their confidence level facing us, or are they trying to figure something out at the last minute before, as a final retooling before the World Cup?
I think they're thinking past us.
Hmm.
I think they're trying out what could we see in a knockout round.
They're eyeing their World Cup quarterfinals. I
Yeah.
don't think they're thinking about us, to be honest.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't throw a lesser squad at this one, just to be like, okay, when we have 5 injuries halfway through the World Cup, who's going to come in? Who can we rely on? I thought this was the opportunity for them to do that. I thought that would be the looking past us selection.
I think that's what they saw their last match as.
Yes.
Good point.
To be honest, I mean, we've been talking about. I know we've been harping on Sophie DeGoody. We love Sophie DeGoody. Starting her and then in a super out of position. Honestly, it just to me, in my not knowing that much about what's going on in Rue's head, that's just trying stuff because we're not a threat. I think. Remember, they have a lot of confidence to portray right now. They're eyeing England. We're not eyeing England.
Yes. To me, it says they've seen something in their preparation for whoever they play in the knockouts, and they playing this lineup works. So we're going to see them play us like it's a knockout match in a pre-World Cup test. So I am terrified that we might lose by 50.
There is
I
have it
I
right
switched
here.
my brands of ginger ale this evening, by the way, in their honor. Usually go with the Schweppes, but tonight little Canada Dry. Just
Well, I just to throw it out there for maths or for consideration's sake. The quarterfinals, in terms of how the pools are and what we know about all of the teams and what we know about rugby ball knowers, it's very likely that the quarterfinals are going to be Canada versus Australia for them. There is a small chance that USA beats Australia. We're going to learn a lot from the Australia-Wales match tomorrow. But in terms of our pool, which is us, Canada, Australia, and Scotland, knowing what we know, for
by
me,
the way, Julia,
the most likely is Canada, Australia. I think that's what they're eyeing.
Is it like, the alt universe where in Australia right now, because Charlotte Caslick, Sevens star, boom, right into the Wallaroos at the center, scores a try, everyone's all up. Is she Alona Mara in Australia?
They would both say yes, and so I'm going to say yes. Sure.
Sorry.
They're friends. I love that they're friends. I love
too.
their friendship. They both have similar like vibes in terms of the role that they play within their teams.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd be a little bit more worried about Charlotte Caslick in terms of mastery, but
So
she's probably later in her career.
Very much my
Sorry.
vibes.
Sorry, Collier, go ahead.
what do we make of what's going on with the Scotland camp right now? Because they seem to be imploding.
So
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice comeback against Italy. Are we talking about the women? Because I was impressed how they fought back. They could have given up.
Do you not know about this part, David?
No.
Oh, so Captain Dr. Rachel Malcolm came out. This is something that actually we've known. My other podcast, Women's Rugby Treehouse, we've been tracking this pretty closely. Scotland has been having some problems about their contracting for a while now. Their coach, Brian Eason, is not signing on for after World Cup. He has recently said that he will step down. Not he will leave, not that he's got another offer, but that he will step down. There are murmurings that there has been similar mistreatment to what we heard in the Wales case.
Really?
Yes. So there have been, I don't want to blow up too many spots because I do have some folks who have talked to me. I'm just waiting to find out what happens. Obviously, the message has been like, we are unhappy We're going to decide what we say and when. Please don't just like blast stuff out of nowhere. But I've spoken to a few players, and Rachel Malcolm came out pretty recently, publicly, finally, and said that there are some problems in the back office. The contracts have not been dealt out fairly, and the way that people have been informed that they are not, for example, going to the World Cup, or that they are no longer going to be contracted at all. Christine Belial being one of them. She was the biggest one. CB was the one who came out about it. But a few other names have also been left off that were a surprise. It has apparently cratered morale, is what Chloe is talking about. Morale has taken a big hit. You could also see in their performance against Italy, it's not good. It doesn't feel like the Scotland that we know and love. And if you looked at the lineup that they just put out for against Ireland, I have a lot of questions about that one, but that's not this podcast.
Yeah.
But that's a weird lineup if you go and look. And I think that will. But yeah, there's morale to wrap it up. And you know, I hate to say it, maybe it'll work in her pool's favor. That's disgusting, and I wish I didn't say it, but
I have to say it out loud. The SRU has been suffering from their own karma ever since they fucked it with the Siobhan thing.
It's and you're absolutely right, and that has been the echo that you've been hearing from a lot of senior players, including Rachel Malcolm, including Loss. Everybody feels the same way. And some of the undertones have been, or some of the underlying message has been, you promised us and you did not. And I know in the men's game as well, SRU has really not reneged on some things that they've promised the men's game, but really not performed up to what they swore up and down they would. It looks like it's been an abrogation of duty across the board.
Well, the SRU's good move was foisting Rufus McLean on us somehow.
Great. Oh, speaking of,
I said recently the real tragedy of Rufus McLean is he's not good enough to play for Montpellier.
And when you're not good enough to play for Montpellier, you have to come for what we now know, unfortunately, and I have to because I am the DC native and it's an American podcast. Very briefly, I just have to acknowledge there has been news out of Old Glory DC. It's gross. I always believe the survivors. I know this pod always believes the survivors. It's disgusting. It's really gross that OG is becoming the Montpellier of the MLR. But yeah,
have they said anything? Has there been an official response? There was an arrest.
No response yet. No, they are pulling the same Montpellier bullshit, which is just, well, we're going to wait to see what the courts say.
We like to think sports are separate.
Okay.
Anyway, that made me really mad.
It's really a shame that we think that we have such a hard time pulling physical sport talent from the NFL to rugby when we could tell them you can get away with that stuff here.
Don't worry.
Apparently it's a selling point.
People talk about rugby values, but guess what?
Rugby values, asterisk, and the asterisk is America. Great.
Well, it was poignant that you picked a certain turn of phrase, Julia. You mentioned that, Canada is looking towards England. We're not looking at England, but we are looking at England because we are facing them in our opening round of the World Cup.
Ooh.
3 weeks from tomorrow. I don't know why they put our heads on the chopping block to open this thing up. I'm not convinced it's going to be.
No, they're like, this is the curtain raiser. And we know why. We do know why. And it's cynical and it's
why?
But it's because it's going to be an absolute trouncing. And that's what they want to open up.
Oh, it's because they're home World Cup. They want to come out with the 63-3.
It's the opening. It's Sunderland.
Oh yeah. We are Sunderland.
I have seen a lot of very well-meaning people who came to rugby through Alona, who are Dancing with the Stars folks, who are all like, I got my tickets. I'm going to come see you at Sunderland. And I was like, girl, all you needed to do was talk to like any rugby blogger. We would have told you like, wait until you play like Samoa.
Oh, Julia, I have to ask, you posted something a while back now about actually going. Spill the beans. Are you off to the land of boiled food and crooked teeth?
I'm so glad you asked. Unfortunately, no. My
Ah,
as we've discussed, my dog ended up needing emergency surgery, and
ah.
that money was for doggy. There is still a remote chance. I did get the remaining tickets that I still have. I still have my quarterfinals tickets in Bristol because my Bristol and Welsh friends would kill me. If there's any chance that I can go, that's where I will be. And it's later. I have another month to try if I do for that one. So remote possibility at this time. I have tickets, but no airfare. That's what we'll say. But
Kolya,
I'm sorry.
the only games I don't like are the blowouts, and I have a bit of a fear that this
That's
one,
why I
as we
went for
just hinted,
quarterfinals.
it's going to be kind of a blowout.
It absolutely is.
I'm still looking forward to it though, just because this World Cup, I feel like there's
I
something
love
special
rugby.
that's going to happen. I feel like we're going to see some amazing things. I think our Eagles are going to get trounced, but I want to see some cool performances out of them.
It is.
What are you looking forward to in this opening match of the World Cup? Anything?
Of course, I'm still excited to see how they perform. I still think that we're going to bring the best products that we have out of USA Rugby. Um, in terms of how they perform, if we hadn't have been talking about our match against Canada soon, I would say that I'm going to wait to see how that goes. From what we saw from Fiji, I think we're gonna play the best rugby that we can. I don't guarantee that we make it to quarterfinals. I don't think we do at this point, but I need to see how Australia play against Wales, and I need to see how we play against Canada.
Kolya, what's a positive outcome from our match against England?
Uh, they don't score 100.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be
I
that
don't think they
bad.
will. I don't think they will.
No, I don't think it'll be that bad. I think, and this is an old thought exercise that David and I used to do long ago. Um, what would be a win to me, and then obviously I want to know you guys as well. What would be a win to me is if we can keep them to within like 24 to 30 to a point difference.
Mhm.
I'd be happy with it.
Mm.
Yes,
It
yes.
can't be a 60-point blowout again. That's where I'm at.
I'd agree if we want to build on that Alonamar hype train that you referenced, losing by more than, say, 20 would be probably too much.
We would build no momentum.
Yes. Yes. If we can show that we're the scrappy underdogs that have kept England at bay and maybe given some hope for maybe this team can make the quarterfinals, maybe even further than that, and maybe there's a chink in the Red Roses armor that the US has shown.
Mm.
Be a win.
And by the way, since it's so far out, there is always a chance, and especially after the articles that have come out recently, that oh my god, I'm completely blanking. Uh the coach of the Red Roses, John. Um
Fogarty. No,
what?
Fogarty.
Fogarty. No, the coach of the Red Roses recently came out and said that it is not defining to him if he loses this one again. He's not gonna let himself be defined by another loss. Um, okay. They might get really cocky and they might field an inferior team to us, or he might try to get cute. He might try to get cute and crafty
Mm.
and come up with something like out of the box and being like, we're so good we could play Zoe Aldcroft at center. I'm like, okay,
I feel like they might be able to do that anyway. And this feels like the most American
that's
take
fine.
possible,
We'll put
but
Kate Zachary at center. They'll play.
I feel like we have to show offense in this game. Like I don't think anyone expects us to win. We're expected to get hammered. If we get hammered but don't score anything, that means that nothing's working right. If we get beaten heavily but have scored 3 tries or 4, I think other
It
teams are
means
going to
there's
go,
something wrong.
uh-oh, the USA knows what they're doing right now.
If we can show that there's something to work with, I will be happy.
Yeah.
I think that's what you want.
So my other big thing, and I put this in our group chat earlier in the week, I asked whether you think Paramount Plus will have their own people there or the world feed,
Mm.
mainly because
It would be great if we could have our own.
it would be wonderful if we have our own, but if we have to listen to an 80-minute soliloquy about the
How great the Red Roses are.
Roses are as we are being tanked, I will not be able to finish that match.
You're absolutely
That is a
right.
great point.
Actually, I've been thinking about the same thing. Is just that, like, for example, I and absolutely everybody, every other person loves Nick. I can't listen to him like shit talk us for 80 minutes. I can't listen to Sarah Orchard be mean about us. No, I would love it if like we had Wendy and Bree. Like it would be great if we had them from WBR.
Amazing.
We all know. No, I
I
really
wonder. They could do that, but usually if there's a way to screw the pooch, they will find it.
they will, but we don't have to suffer it. Oh, absolutely, the BBC feed is going to be disgusting. We don't have to listen to it though.
Yeah.
Especially, and no, Coley is absolutely right. If
The guys on the Wrap are often talking about the Welsh streaming service that they sometimes watch games through, and all the broadcasting is in Welsh. I'm like, I would take that over listening to an English guy talk about how great England is.
I love S4C and I watch a lot of stuff on S4C, especially because anytime Wales is playing anybody but Scotland, they put English people on and they just talk about how bad Wales is. Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, completely not related at all, but England and Spain were playing in the women's Euros, and I was going for Spain. Because when two colonizers play, it has to be the least bad one that wins.
Yes.
It wasn't the case. It wasn't the case. But we had the feed from the BBC basically. Oh no, I guess we had our own, whatever.
So bad.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I watched Telemundo because I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, I turned it off when it got to extra time because I couldn't think of anymore.
Yeah, it was so bad. I was glad by like 70 minutes in, I was just like, Telemundo. Okay. It was so good. It was so good. And I mean, obviously, if especially international listeners, I feel so bad for you if you do watch soccer, which Coley and I definitely do. If you don't get to experience actual Mexican announcers, you're really missing out, especially Spanish.
So here's my question for either of you. Both of you have coaching roles in your lives. It's very likely we're going to get our butts kicked in this opening match in the World Cup, but we have some winnable games after that. What is your message immediately after this game if it goes badly to say, hey, look, we knew that was coming. Here's what we can do to make things right the rest of the way. Here's how we can put in our best performance yet. How do you get the best performance possible out of a team that opens this thing on the world stage, probably to a hiding?
I think that's too early to talk about
Okay.
until after this Canada match. Because
that was going to be the first thing I say is you really can't look forward to it and be like, we're about to get two drubbings. That doesn't help them.
Yes.
Okay.
If we get tanked by Canada and then get tanked by the Red Roses, that's a completely different team talk than if something else happens against Canada.
I'd also like to add, there will be whatever commentary that it makes on the global women's game. Otherwise, we can say one thing about USA playing the Red Roses. It will hurt. Yes. We know that it's not going to be a win. We're hoping that it's tight, whatever. For better or for worse, over half of the women who play for the USA team will have played with the Red Roses, Red Roses, because they all play in the PWR.
Right.
I'm not saying that will make it feel any better to lose to them, but actually what I think is that it will make them more confident in their performance there. Canada, you can say the same thing. A lot of them play with and against each other in the PWR, but it's not the same feeling of like you're back in England, you're looking at like your teammate that you're with 6 months out of the year or whatever. It's not the same thing as just like, I see Canada all the time. I don't know that it will be as emotionally crushing as we're making it sound right now. I don't know that yet. I think that there are some mind games to play. I think there's a lot to learn, and I'm really cautious of saying anything past this Canada game. We really might see something different tomorrow.
If England do beat us and one of our players is seen in a TikTok video dancing with Ellie Kildun, what's the over-under on the number of annoying old men who come out and complain about it?
It'll all depend on if it's somebody that they deem attractive. Sorry, that's just a fact. I'm sorry. The pink sweaty Englishmen, they only care. It's not the podcast for this, but they only care about it when it's somebody who is perhaps less white or less straight. Sorry.
Well, other podcasts can't find much to talk about in July, but boy howdy, we've got you covered here. Thanks to Lee, thanks to Hugh, thanks to all the folks at the Wrap, and to all of you for coming along and watching and listening. We're on YouTube. We're on all the usual platforms for audio pods. We just hit 235 subscribers on YouTube, so if you can help out by spreading the word, that would be phenomenal. Okay, it's the big if time. This is, I suppose, your sort of ESPN style question for the week. I gotta go, gotta do my ESPN voice. They don't play these games on paper. Anything can happen out there on the pitch. Boom, double cliche. Take that. If the USA against heavily stacked odds favorites England find a way to win. Actually, I'm going to switch that. If
I'm
we
going to
find a
find
way
a
to win,
hat to eat. And I will
if we find a way to win against Canada this coming weekend, tomorrow, basically, day after tomorrow, who would have to be the player of the match for you?
we have to see it.
That's not how ESPN works.
Oh my God. Okay. Hope. It's safe. It's safe to say Hope she might get a hat trick.
Yes. There we go.
Hope or Olev. One of the two of them is going to get a hat trick if we win somehow.
Kolya?
One of our three back line would have to be man of the match.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll buy that any day.
That's my
So each and every week we try to get in a bit of grassroots, but the last week in July is pretty scarce on rugby action and news. I came up blanks. I think both of you said the same thing. Anyone find anything last minute?
I did find a little bit. There
Oh.
was the Hotlanta Sevens this past weekend in
Oh.
and part of the US youth setup was there and seems to have been a well-attended little shindig, according to one of my friends in Atlanta, who texted me right before we started this pod.
Nice. You definitely want to be playing sevens in Atlanta at the end of July.
Oh my God.
That's the
And there is yes, not Charlottesville. What am I thinking? The other big city in Atlanta that isn't, or the other one in Georgia that isn't. I'm sorry, Savannah. Savannah has a sevens tournament that's in like the beginning of August, and it is hell. You drink a lot though, so
Oh my God, in August.
and you get haunted. You get haunted. It's so much fun.
I actually discovered one tiny thing because I was chatting with Wheelsy from the Free Jacks. He's over in Wales right now because he's there with our junior jacks who are participating in a tournament there. Just recently, our academy guys went to Scotland, and now our juniors are in Wales. So it's just nice to know those things are happening.
Junior jacks.
all doom and gloom
I'm
over.
sorry.
Yeah.
All doom and gloom.
I'm assuming our junior jacks are about to win 3 championships in a row in Wales
In Wales, absolutely, 100%.
against the actual Walesmen.
I was gonna say where they're born with a rugby ball. Okay.
Okay, we do need our predictions. I'm horrified to say I've got Canada winning 42-5. Kolya,
Okay.
what about you?
I'll be a little more positive. 34-17 Canada.
I like us getting 17, Julia.
I was gonna say 30-17.
Oh, 17 would be good. Like you kind of mentioned earlier, Julia, like what's a win for us? 17 points for us in a non-blowout loss. That's a huge win for us
That's
in this
fine.
game. I
Yep.
like it.
That's where I'd be happy.
Any final thoughts for either of you?
Not for this one.
Boy, this is the most like content we had coming into it, I think, in a while. Especially the non-match related content. It's been great though. I feel like we're getting better at this every week, and it's just been really fun. I'm glad it's late in the week, but I'm glad we worked it out to all be here together at the same time. I think the power of us at 3 is better than any combination of 2 of us.
Yes, and one of the other things going on in rugby right now is talk about where should the British and Irish Lions tour in.
Oh no, he's diving in. You gonna say, go on.
Have it
Say it.
be the U.S. right now.
Say it.
Have it be the U.S. right now.
Say it. Oh my God, they're gonna find you, Kolia. And so here's the thing: is it's so smart of you to not be on social media and to say something like that. I want you to know you haven't seen it, but especially on Twitter, the Hell app, and also even less, even on Blue Sky to a lesser extent, but definitely on Twitter. You guys don't know, but especially during and after the DC stop in the tour, everyone was talking about how we should absolutely never have an event again. I don't know if you guys heard, but we are pussies because we don't want to get hit by lightning. And then also, the cities are too far apart.
Delay in the Wales Australia match.
The cities are too far apart, Kolia. You can't do it. They said. They said it's too much. They said it's fine if you have one match in London and then one in South Africa. That's fine. But if you do one in Kansas City and you do one in DC, too much.
Too far away.
Too much. Too much. But we're the pussies somehow. Interesting.
I do love
All I'll
that
say
every
is
year
interesting.
when the
I
Super
look
Bowl
forward to the
roll,
comments.
To see
when the Super Bowl rolls around, I love listening to all my rugby podcasts because they eventually have to they feel compelled to talk about the Super Bowl, and every year it's like, I think Kansas is going to win. It's like, Kansas is not going to win.
Great. I like Jacksonville. Yeah, girl, we all do. Go off.
I would like to go to a British and Irish Lions tour in Argentina. If that happened, I would go.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
Oh my God. So true.
Have either of you
I
been
would
to
do that.
Argentina?
I have not, but I have so many Argentine friends
Oh
and
yeah.
love
It would be the absolute best reason to go. I would go to Argentina so fast. I have so many linguist friends. Argentina is as a hotbed of language services in South America. That'd be so much fun.
yeah.
I was thinking that, or if they did Sao Paulo, but either way.
Mm.
No.
I was so colossally disappointed by the end of or by the what ended up being the series clinching game for the Lions. That felt like a gut punch. I watched it back. PRD got it right. It was the right call. I'm just bummed.
This
They're going to find you, David.
yeah.
The South Africans are going to find you.
My opinion, a better tour than the last one.
I agree. And we get crucified if we say it.
It almost had to be though. The last one was like under a shroud of curse. Like it was
was
awful.
so haunted.
Yeah. Even in my recollections of
The
it feel
vibes
haunted.
were just so awful.
Yeah. Everything about it was odd. On the other hand, you know what? I think it was Lee and Josh talking about it on Blood and Mud. Like when the Lions are clear favorites, it takes away some of the thrill of the whole tour. You know, it's like you want to wonder if the Lions are going to pull it out. You don't want to
I
think,
agree, but you can't
ooh,
say
how
it to
bad is this
any of
going
our
to be bad?
friends. Any of our friends in Wales or England or Scotland or Ireland. They will get so mad.
I don't think our Welsh friends are too invested in this Lion squad.
No, luckily, and I love that about them. Shout out rap.
Okay. Any final thoughts? The NPC started this weekend. Should we also start talking about that? There was a big game between, I think it was
Do you want to be sad
Auckland.
again? Do you want to talk about another place where America's going to get its ass handed to it?
The return of Limo Sipalanga. He's back in New Zealand.
Hey.
Okay. I think that probably wraps it up. Thank you again to everyone for joining us. We're really enjoying the show. Despite all the calamitous news this week, we're so happy to have a growing audience as well. It's just lovely. Until next week, cheers. Thanks to you all, and be well.